Just a friendly reminder that the opinions expressed on this show are not worth a Canadian penny, so disregard anything you hear that might get anyone in trouble. And despite some of the great ideas you may hear, don't try them at home. Go to a friend's house instead.
It's time to get a gun. That's what I've been thinking. Well, I could afford one. And if I did just a little less drinking, time to put something between me and the sun. When the talking is over, it's time to get a gun.
Hello and welcome to Slamfire Radio. This is episode 326 for October 17th, 2019. I'm one of your hosts, Adriel.
Oh, I'm in the middle. Damn it. And I am another one of your hosts, Random Dave, breaking the show.
Hi, Random Dave.
Already.
And I'm one of your hosts, other host, Kelly. Lynn.
Not breaking the show.
Not breaking it. Yeah. Not yet. There's still the
just
whole
give it
rest of the
time.
show. Got lots of time.
Yeah.
Very early now.
Yeah. All right, why don't we get into what we did in guns? What we did in guns this week is brought to you by the Calgary Shooting Centre, Canada's premier firearms retailer. Right now, they have, how would you describe this? A super sub 2000? It's a sub 2000, but it's been like worked over by their custom shop to have everything in it.
So it's a super sub 2000.
It's a super sub 2000, super
Or a
custom sub
super
2000.
duper?
Yeah, super duper. Yeah, yeah. It's 1550, but it's got okay. So your Kel-Tec sub 2000,
Let's
which is
name them all off.
right around $800. It's got a M Carbo trigger, all-in-one pro performance trigger job, an optic mount, butt pad, rear sight, charging handle, sling mount, and it's also Cerakoted. Custom Cerakote. Fancy.
What?
Right.
So there is no picture. What does it look like?
I don't know. I imagine with custom Cerakote, it could be like anything. I would imagine there was a link to this, but our fearless Calgary Shooting Centre pro shooter is not here to describe it.
Correct.
It's very fancy. And you should go buy one.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
maybe.
folding.
There it
They
is.
still, but with that optics mount, it rotates out of the way, so you could run a red dot and still be able to fold it up. So
Right.
that's neat.
Do you still have yours?
No, I
Oh.
move guns. They come in and out, coming and out. I've had a lot of people say, "Hey, what about this? What about this one gun that you talked about
Yeah.
4 years ago on your channel?" I was like, that's gone. It all moves.
I didn't know if you did sell it or not. I know that there was some issues. Never mind. I'll not say anything about it. It was a lovely gun.
Fired out of battery.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Yeah.
You got it at a good deal because it did do that.
Correct. Yeah.
Right.
And then put a bunch of stuff on it, and it was cool. And it fired out of battery on some real super crappy Brazilian ammo.
Yeah.
So I'm not willing to throw that out just yet because really crappy Brazilian ammo is really crappy Brazilian ammo. So
the ammo was shaven?
yeah. There's a couple of different ammo that I won't run in any nice gun. I won't run the Brazilian stuff, and I won't run that. It's not Macedonian. It's whatever that Max Tech stuff is. Bosnian. It's from some Balkan country.
It is from country that no longer exists.
It's from West to
Yeah.
Germany or East to Germany.
That would be east. West is France. Okay.
France.
Used to be. Yeah.
Someone didn't get their history down right.
No.
Yeah, but why don't we get into what we did in guns instead of talking about the M Carbos and the sub 2000s? Dave, do you want to kick us off, or you're walking away?
No, I'm opening my gun safe.
Ah, okay.
So give me a moment.
He's multitasking as we do the show, just like Trevor was last week when he was Instagramming, or not Instagramming. What was he doing?
Tindering, I think is the correct
No,
word for
no,
that.
it wasn't
Brandon?
Tinder. It was Twitter. Yeah, he was on Twitter. Remember, he was having a Twitter war with somebody, and I'm going, "Hello, it's a live show."
Yeah.
Well, I have something to show off, but I figured I'd have time.
You have show and tell.
I have several show and tell, but I figured I'd
Okay.
have time because Trevor would be like 2 hours doing his thing, so I'd have time to get
Yeah.
sleep open. So
He-
somebody else go ahead. Adriel, you
He
go.
called in sick. Actually, he's not calling
He's
in
not
sick.
sick. I thought he was canvassing neighborhoods for the Liberal Party to try to get more votes.
Yeah, in his
He's
neighborhood.
volunteering for them to try to get more votes in his neighborhood is what I thought.
Yeah.
Did he leave the house with his face makeup? Asking for friends.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because everybody's going to believe that Trevor's doing that. We all know how much he loves the Liberals.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He's been very vocal on Facebook about his support.
Has been.
Yes. Okay. So where we at, Adriel? Who's doing it?
Well, I was waiting for Dave to pull his stuff out of the
Holy
safe.
jeez.
Yeah.
Oh, I said go ahead,
It's
but
only
I
an
got my
hour-long
safe
show.
open.
No, that's
I
somebody
got my
else.
safe open. So
It's very safe. Everything in your safe is very safe.
it is. This is a terrible European pistol. The Europeans, other than Glock,
look at that.
don't seem to know how the hell to build a handgun.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what's wrong with them. But this is a horrible FN-22. It's garbage. I hate everything about it. But this was captured from a German soldier. Well, okay, not captured. He killed the guy, and then
It was acquired.
Yes, it was acquired through.
It was acquired. It was acquired. Yes.
So a buddy of mine's granddad was
Yep.
in World War II.
Yeah.
So he gave me a call one day and he said, "Hey, my granddad died, and we found this handgun sitting around. So how do we turn it into the cops?" And I said, "Well, you don't. You just don't." So I went and took a look, and like a lot of war repo stuff, it was sitting in a desk drawer for 50 years. Now, it's prohib. Luckily, was a prohib. Luckily, they had registered it just after World War II, so they still had that little piece of paper, the little card thing.
Yeah.
So, and it was still in the system. The RCMP, by some miracle, hadn't lost the information over all these years.
Wow.
Yeah, because otherwise it would have had to destroy it.
Right.
So what ended up happening was I went and picked it up, got it to a gunsmith who has a prohib, a business permit or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So unfortunately, the reason it's prohibited is because it's 32 cal. Lame.
Oh, okay.
So it's now a 380. So it's rebarreled, so it's probably useless to a collector. But
Right.
it's kind of cool as a little piece of, Canadiana war capture. And it had a holster with it as well. So I got the gun, no mag,
And the holster.
and the
Cool.
original holster, which is in flawless
Mags?
condition. Didn't come with any mags. No, the mags got lost. So
Okay.
I got that, which I thought was pretty cool. So I just had to pay to rebarrel it, which was probably more than the gun is actually worth. But whatever.
It's a piece. It's a piece of history, though.
Yeah, exactly. It's neat, right? I don't want to see something like destroyed. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And he doesn't know where it was captured or anything. His granddad refused to say anything about the war, never talked about it, never said boo, don't know where he served, what unit or anything. So I'm going to see if I can get a photo of him in his uniform off him and then try and track him back and see what unit he was with and where
they went.
In Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that was kind of cool. And then I got, it's really too long to see, but
Oh.
That's a long boy scope.
Yeah.
yeah, it's huge. It's a U.S. Marine Corps 1903 sniper reproduction.
Very nice.
So I've got a guy that comes out to my plinking days, Don, and he is a huge World War I, World War II collector. And he had this thing. I don't think it was originally a sniper model, but he had a gunsmith take the thing and turn it into an exact replica of the sniper gun, with the exception that the sniper model didn't have a front sight in research.
Cool.
But brand new barrel, brand new everything, completely reblued, brand new stock, brand new reproduction scope. So it's all modern internal.
That's a brand new reproduction scope.
It is.
So for the audio listeners, this thing is that
2.5
a meter
feet.
long?
2 feet long. Yeah. Now here's the crazy thing about this scope. Watch this.
Oh. Okay. So Dave is physically moving the scope.
Sliding the scope back and forth.
Yeah.
It slides inside its rings. It's externally adjustable. But the idea is you load the gun, pull it all the way to the rear, fire the gun recoils, and the scope slides forward in its mounts.
Oh, so it doesn't batter it.
Yeah.
Exactly. It doesn't beat the crap out of it. Now, the problem is you have to grab the scope and pull it back with every shot.
That's a terrible solution. That is just the worst workaround I've ever seen.
It is, but it's different, right? It's kind of neat. And
It
I
is,
looked up,
yeah.
Apparently, that's how they work, so you didn't beat the living crap out of the scope.
Wow.
So, yeah, it's a 30-06. It's pretty cool. I got it for a reasonable price. And it's, it's like I said, it's all reblued, and probably can't even see that in my camera very well. But
Wow, it looks really cool.
Yeah, it does.
So I'm gonna go shoot sniper matches with it.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna go to
I
a
want
precision.
pictures.
I'm gonna shop with this.
I want video because he's going to have
Okay,
to
yeah, big
run his
video,
bolt, grab his
Yeah.
scope, pull it back, run the bolt forward, and then take his next shot.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go get a proper U.S. Army helmet from World War II.
Oh God, he's gonna go get one of those.
Totally, yeah. Why not? Right? That'd be fun.
By the way, I really like your stickers on your safe.
Oh, thank you.
Deutschland. Yay!
Yep.
Okay. Just
Yep. I have the Hello Kitty sticker from Trevor's lovely wife.
yeah. Apple.
I don't have a Hello Kitty sticker.
I stayed in her Hello Kitty room, and I left my shaving bag there. So
I was going to say, when did you leave? I don't want to know.
I also shot a CQB match last week, and I got second in the middle division. I got a silver, so after not firing my AR-15 since Maple Seed and not firing it for nearly a year before then, I still know how to run an AR-15. So I sucked, but I sucked really badly. So that was fun.
Congratulations.
Thanks. And that's everything I did in guns.
Cool.
Sweet.
Kelly, do you want to go?
Sure, why not? So I did a few things this week. I went on Saturday, on Friday, went up to Ottawa because we had a Maple Seed happening in Stittsville. Stittsville is just right outside of Ottawa. And I wanted to give a shout out to a couple of people, Melissa and Zach. They are people from the Stittsville shooting range. Fantastic. The range was just perfect for us. It was perfect size. They put us way out at the back on the military / police range, and they even built target stands for us. So I got there. There was the 401 was just, it's a long weekend on a Friday. Yeah, great. Decided to go up with the trailer, and I ran into some significant traffic around Brockville because of an accident, because people are stupid when they drive on the 401. But so I got up into Stittsville at the range an hour and a half late because of the traffic and the accidents, because it's plural. There was 2 of them, and it was the middle of the night. It was dark, and I went, and I'm going, oh God, how are we going to put up? We were going to put up the target stands. One of our IATs from Ottawa met me there, Greg Weiss. He was going to help set up the target line, but when we got there, the target stands were already done. There were 16 of them. We had 15 participants, and I said, awesome. All I had to do was drop the trailer and show up the next morning. So it was really good. The range is phenomenal. It's a public range, so it's just a really good range. We're definitely going to be going back to there. So Saturday it was our Maple Seed, and because it was a Maple Seed, you know what it was doing. It was cold and miserable because it was raining.
Of course.
Yeah. But we had a full line, so we had 15 people. I wanted to let you guys know that there was 4 youth shooters as well. There was one youth shooter. She was 9 years old. Her name was Avery. She was fantastic. She's been out to a couple of the CRPS matches, and she's been placing in the youth division. Like, she placed second and overall third for anyway. She is a good little shooter. So she shot the Maple Seed, and she did the whole entire course of fire, and she did it with a Mark II, and she was just fantastic. I just thought she was amazing. We also had a couple of other youth. So there was Evan, he was 16, and Shelby, 16. Shelby had been to Maple Seed before. Both Evan and Shelby are in Air Cadets as well, so they also shoot. Danica, who is Shelby's sister, was also at a Maple Seed last year. She wanted to come back. Danica's been practicing shooting. Basically, every time there is a monthly challenge, she'll take the targets out and she'll shoot it. Danica is 14 years old, as I said, sister, so she's female, and she's now officially our youngest rifleman. I just wanted to give her a big shout out. 14.
Ooh, yep.
She just turned 14 as well, so a month ago. And she shot a rifle. She did all of the kids, so all of our youth shooters did the whole entire course of fire. And and when I say it was miserable because you could see your breath when you were breathing, you're getting up and down, and it was raining, and the scopes were fogging up, and it was just, yeah. So that night, I also had to come home. So I didn't get home until almost midnight, and I still had to actually clean my rifle because it was disgusting. It was full of water. I literally brought it in, and I was just a trail of water. So I had to clean it and lube it, and it was just gross. What else? Oh, on Monday I went out and I went shooting with some ladies from #MyTribe. I went out to my local range here in Frontenac. I also brought out my coworker and her daughter. Her daughter's name is Summer. I just wanted to let you know that Summer is a natural. She has never shot a pistol before, and from 10 meters, she was able to shoot. She was able to get bullseye out of 10 shots. She was able to do it like 7 out of 10. It was just like, yeah,
Nice.
like it was just phenomenal. So she shot my Glock. She shot my CZ Shadow. She really liked the Shadow, the weight of it. She also shot. She had shot previously air rifle with cadets. So I brought out my maple seed rifle, and she had an opportunity to shoot that. She was able to get at smack, like at 25 meters. I gave her a little bit of the marksmanship training as well. Maple seeded her a little bit, basically, and she was able to shoot, an inch, 1 MOA. So she did really, really well. Then she tried out the shotgun. It wasn't her favorite, but it was okay. And we also brought an AR-15, and she absolutely loved the AR-15. So she is 18 years old. She just turned 18, so she decided she's going to go get her pal. She friended me on Facebook, and now we're going to be going to the range. Continue.
Awesome.
One of us.
I know, right? Her mom was going, I can understand how people like this, but it's not really my thing. But Summer was just over the moon. Like, this is something. And Summer has some issues with just, anxiety and a few other things. And like, she was just such a natural. I said, I'm going to take you anytime that you want. You can come out. Well, she will do. And she just had a grin from ear to ear. She's been talking about it for like a week now. Well, not a week, since Monday. I was talking to her mom about it today, and she goes, yeah, she just wants to go out. She's going to get her pals. She's going to get firearms. And her mom's going, I don't know if I want firearms in the house. I'm going, yes, you do.
It's going to happen.
Yeah. So she was just so super happy about it because, as I explained to the girl that I work with, this is something that everybody can do, whether you're a kid, you're female, you're male, and it's level playing field. I said, but reality, as I said to Summer, I said, generally, actually, women shoot a little better than men, especially from the beginning, because we actually listen, as opposed to men. Sometimes
we naturally know what to do. That's the advantage.
It's just built in.
Yeah,
that's those chromosomes.
Natural knowledge of guns, cars, handyman stuff, directions. It's all just built right in.
Okay, Tim the Toolman Tiller. That's what you guys are sounding like, Neanderthals.
You need to like flex at the end of that, there, Adrian.
Yeah. Oh. But yeah, I just want to let you know that Summer is. Yeah, I'm going to get her the information so that she can get her pal. I was talking to her about my local range. It's 4 years now for the wait period to get in.
Damn.
Four. So I said, we'll see about getting you in other places.
And then we need to get her shooting IPSC, and then we need to take New Brunswick, and then she can humiliate Trevor.
Yeah, exactly.
I like this plan.
Okay, so the other thing that I got this in the mail. Now, I wanted to give a shout out to Bren Romich. He's the president of the Winnipeg Pistol and Revolver Club. I keep talking about the CCFR Gunny Girl calendar. Well, he took it upon himself. He says, well, where is the Gunny Guy calendar? And I said, well, we don't have one. I said, I don't know if there'd be enough demand for one. So he actually sent me a calendar
of him
with him, and it's his own version of the Gunny Guy calendar, the CCFR. He goes, you got to represent. Now the funny thing is, I'm in the calendar, Stacy's in the calendar, Miss Stacy, who's part of Maple Seed, and Mr. Gallen, as well as Slam Fire Radio is in the calendar too.
Yay!
Yeah. So just to let you
Huzzah.
know that Bren is very vocal in Winnipeg about shooting and the benefits of it, and he gets interviewed regularly by the TV station there. When C71 came into effect, they interviewed him, and then they also sent actually somebody from the local paper and took his picture, and they put basically that in. So if you look at this picture, this is Bren, and what he's wearing is our polo shirt in the picture, and this was posted in the Winnipeg. I don't know what it is. Winnipeg Gazette, or Brian, you're watching. You know what it is. Whatever newspaper it is. So Slamfire Radio, it's represented in the calendar too. I thought it was freaking hilarious. I got it last night. I said, I'm going to put this up.
Yeah. Just forward that over to our lawyer, Brent. He'll be in touch.
Cease and desist.
Yeah. So, no. He said, well, what?
That's awesome.
And you guys haven't done anything. I haven't gotten any pictures from Dave or from Adriel or
I'll send you some
Trevor.
pictures.
I don't want those pictures.
Fine.
It's called a mankini, and it's perfectly child safe and okay to put on a calendar.
All right.
Bikini.
Yeah, mankini.
Oh, no mankini.
I was just going to be holding my tiny pistol. That's all I need.
Sub-caliber.
Yeah, you're rebarreled. Okay, that's what I did with guns this week. Adriel, do you want to go next?
You bet I do.
Oh, you're up, because that's it.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
it's
it's
bottom
gonna be
of the
me now.
barrel.
Let's see here. I shot a 3-gun match. It was pretty good. So this is one that I was MDing. So I designed the whole thing and set it all up and did all the organization. It was kind of funny because the things that I thought were going to go well were just like, meh, okay. And the things that I didn't think of like really went well. So what I say by that, like I had all the stage build like notes and graphs and charts and all that kind of stuff ready to rock and roll. And I printed those off and had them ready for people in the morning. And we shot at about the same time as we usually shoot. So it made almost no difference in setup time, which was surprising to me. But what was good was the stage's consistency was really good. And the competitive equity was really good as well between the different stages, which is just to say that no one got any super advantage because rules weren't understood correctly or anything like that. So that was all good. I think Trevor was talking about some of the matches he's been to recently here, and he was mentioning how different squads did it different ways. And I don't think that we had that problem as bad at that 3-gun match.
As well as I know.
In terms of me, like I made some mistakes on this one. I'm going to share a picture. If you guys have been on my Instagram, you've seen this, but it's a picture of me with my foot over a line as I'm shooting an array underneath a truck. Not only did I get super duper muddy and get dirt and mud all over myself and my gut and all that kind of stuff, but I also basically went from first to third on that stage just with those 6 shots. Yeah. Yep. But
Oh, well.
yeah, whatever.
It happens.
I don't really care.
It does happen.
It's a local club match. It happens, and it's
enough to
it
mention
was
it.
illuminating. I wasn't careful enough, and I should have been.
Illuminating. I like those big words, Adriel.
Yeah, I got more of them. Supercalifragilistic. Fragilistic?
Yeah,
basically. No. It's okay. That's my only long word then that I got.
XBL procedural.
Yeah, you guys.
Procedural.
Oh, I like that too.
Yeah. Let's do some show and tell. So the first one I want to show,
Let's do it. I want to see. Yeah.
practically a milsurp, is this Kui Ace. Ooh, it's so small.
It's tiny. So tiny.
Yeah, I borrowed this off of a buddy of mine. Got this. He's actually got a boy, and he wanted to get a rifle that would kind of had a little bit classier and something that would work for a kid. And so it's a little single shot Kui Ace 1. So this one would have been produced between 1939 and 1945, just before World War II.
Yeah, it's a
And,
good thing Trevor's not on because he might want to start collecting that
A
now.
Kui. Well, these are like $100, so no problem.
Yeah,
Probably less.
yeah.
Yeah. Single shot, and you gotta pull that to
Yeah.
rocket.
Love that when I'm teaching people how to shoot. Love it.
Yeah. It's I was reading a little bit about them, and this would have been common for like 10-year-olds. You would give a 10-year-old one of these and like a pocket full of shells and let them wreak havoc on the gopher population. So kind of a
I think it's perfect.
super lightweight, super lightweight.
Yeah.
Super built to a price point as well. Like that front sight is like I don't know, like half a coin basically. And the rear sight, also it is this is a right-handed rifle. My video appears mirrored, so it's like this is also not knock.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, but that's what other people see. Anyways,
and
kind of a neat little
I
rifle.
can see it flip the other way. I see you right side right.
Yeah, you're
you
on the
look right
other
by me.
side of the call, and I'm on my side of the call, and it's mirrored, so it's easy for me to tell my left from my right.
I'm on the other side of the world too.
That too, yeah, the center of the world. I'm in the nowhere of the world where the federal government doesn't care because they know we're going to vote conservative, and no one else bothers to even campaign out here. We have the strongest affinity to a single party of any province in the country. Any of them. It's not even close. So yeah, there is no point in campaigning in Alberta. This is a nylon 66. It's Remington's first plastic gun. And have you guys ever had one of these apart?
I've seen them. I've never taken one apart.
No, I haven't taken it apart.
So
But
weird. This rear sight is
Yeah.
part of the receiver cover, and this is just a metal cover. You pull
Really?
this off, and it's actually plastic on both sides, and the bolt rides inside the plastic. This thing's really plastic, and this is all one big chunk of plastic.
Piece?
Yeah, there's no break in the middle. It's just all one big piece of plastic.
Oh.
Kind of cool.
Oh, like
Okay.
the stock doesn't come apart?
The stock doesn't come apart. It's like it's all one piece. Look, see?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, this is
Crazy.
it looks brown, but this is actually supposed to be their Seneca green. They've got like a brown wood style one that's like a little bit more reddish.
Yeah.
And this one,
it's brown.
it's brown. But it's
dark
supposed to
brown.
be if you see it in natural light, it's got a green tint to it. I tried taking photos of it. I cannot get it out. It must be like in the clear coat itself or something. Because it's got a little bit of a hint to a green to it, and you can't see it even here.
No, it looks very brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to try my best to try to get that look out of it, that green.
It's kind of neat.
Cool little gun, though. You load it through the back there. You just kind of pull a tube out and start throwing some shells in there into the butt. And
then put it back in.
yeah. No bolt hold open, just raw simplicity.
How does it
Safety
feed
on
the
the track.
shells?
What's that?
How does it feed the shells?
They go underneath, and then as you pull this back, it basically just goes brup, and just sits like kind of hanging out in the chamber area there, and then it goes forward and it just loads it in, and then when it comes back to kick it out, it pops it out the side there. If you pull the top off, it kind of looks like a Beretta 92. There's nothing on top, like the top of the chamber. There's nothing to the top of the bolt there. And it just
Is
kind
there a spring in there, a feed ramp, or how's it bringing the rounds up?
there's a couple of
A lift
little
ramp.
guides in there, kind of a thing. And then I don't know if you noticed, but this guy here. So if that's the last one, that's your bullet, and that's the one that's pushing the other one up. So kind of a
Yeah,
Neat.
I've seen one.
kind of neat. Yeah. I've shot them before. I've never taken them apart and like actually looked inside them. That's where the really neat part is because it's so weird. It's so very different than our guns today. But very
Do they
like
still,
you can get to
still make
the.
them, or-
Sorry, go ahead.
Do they still make them?
No, they stopped
When
in
did they
the
stop?
80s. This one, so that other rifle was from somewhere between 39 and 45. This one's 1959.
Huh. Cool.
Yeah, so pretty old, pretty neat.
Yeah, when plastic was.
Brand
King.
new. They're like,
Yeah.
they're
They
working with like
plasticized
high tech
everything.
DuPont. They're like
Yeah.
DuPont. DuPont's like, we got to make a rifle stock out of this nylon 66 stuff. It's amazing. You can do anything with it. Okay, let's try. Yeah, let's make a rifle. And they took the time to even like put fake the grain in it and everything. It's like it's crazy the amount of detail that they put into this thing in the 50s, down to like the fake little like inlets and the
Yeah.
like all this stuff. Yeah.
Neat.
What makes it look pretty?
Yeah. For loading that thing up, use one of these little guys here. This is called as a Catch 22. It's like a belt clip loader, and what you do is ratchet it one open,
Oh.
and then
And
there
just
you've got a stack
pop it in.
of 522 LRs. So you can aim that at that hole in the back there and dump your rounds in, ratchet open another one, and then dump those in there. So you can go 5, 10. I think it holds 14, so hold back one of those. But yeah, this is a really neat way of holding 50 rounds. Now, if I wasn't using a tube-fed rifle, I don't think I'd use this. This is like especially for a tube-fed. For just anything else, I'd probably just feed them out of the box, because think of a box of 50-22 LR, it's more compact than this, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
But for
Yeah.
tube-fed,
So Trevor's on. He's watching. He's watching, but he's not on the show.
He
Go
does
figure.
like to watch. I have heard that.
He said that Filthy has one of those, and it's mint. He says
mint is in like mint condition, or mint is in like they had a real ugly green
Green.
stock. Yeah.
I'm thinking mint condition. Yeah.
I prefer to think of as the green one, the mint green one. And then that's a long range rifle. For short range, you could use something like this. And
Yeah.
for the audio listeners, this is
That's my favorite show and tell tonight.
it's also the heaviest, so I'm probably gonna make
know.
it the shortest.
So Adriel, why don't you tell us what it is?
This is a Cadex Sheepdog. It's one of their
Nice.
PRS specialty rifles, and it's got some weight to it. I think it's 16, 17 pounds.
So 16.9 you said when you measured it last night.
Yeah.
Wasn't
Was that with the scope and everything in it?
I think so.
Definitely not a full mag.
No, it didn't have a full mag. That's right. So it has the bipods.
They sent two. They sent this is their lightweight bipod, and they also sent me the big one. And this is a loaner, right? They didn't send this to me for free. This is just it is for free. But I got to send it back.
Well, we
Review.
talked about this.
Yes.
Ryan, it might come to me first, and then it'll go back to you.
Got
It's making its rounds. Send it my way too.
Yeah. A couple of neat things on it, like a standard bipod. The adjustment is typically like on the bipod. This one's got like this little knobby here that lets you rotate the, not rotate. What is that? Swivel?
Swivel.
Can't.
What's that one?
Can't?
It's not. Yeah, maybe it's can't. Yeah, can't.
I would say
Out of,
swivel.
Up front and back. Yeah, can't swivel. Well, it also swivels. You can also just swivel it.
Back this way, right?
This is the lightweight one. There's also like a big, heavy duty monster
What
one.
scope does he have on there?
That is a Steiner Military 5 to 25.
Nice.
Yeah, no,
It's a
yeah,
nice
yeah.
scope. Yeah.
Yeah.
I was telling him like, I got a pretty nice scope I can put on it, but like, that
that's-
is nice.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna test this thing out. Maybe I'll shoot a deer with it.
I'd like to
tell
see you
you-
shooting it offhand.
Offhand.
The first year I
Yeah.
went deer hunting, I carried my Remington 700 Police with an 18 power scope on it for like 50-yard shooting. I don't recommend that. I was awfully tired of it after a few days.
That's what I was going to
I've
see.
I had my Savage 10 TR in an MDT chassis, and I took that hunting, and I used it to shoot 2 coyotes at 350 yards. I got the spot for it. I got the distance. Like I'm not in Ontario or New Brunswick. I've got like 500-600 yards, no problem.
Sure.
So long as I've got the right ammo and I've got the right accuracy,
Yeah.
I can make a connection out there with that kind of thing.
Yeah. It's a beautiful rifle. KDX makes some really nice ones.
Yeah.
Like my KDX hat.
And
I was wearing my KDX hat today to work.
At some point,
the bolt throw on it is also very short.
it's nice.
Like,
yeah.
look how much space there is between the scope and the bottom of that bolt throw. There's just nothing there. It's just so short. I know on a lot of these, you kind of get close up to the scope and you nick your thumb and whatever. This is like really built as a PRS rig, right?
Yeah. Yeah, they're very, very nice.
Yeah. Let's see here. I did a bunch of pics and put them up on my Facebook page of all these guns and a bunch of other stuff. I ordered a Volquartsen extractor and firing pin for my 1022 from Brunel's. Might go grouse hunting with the boy this weekend. Let's see what else. Maple seed. Yeah. So Rick's going to come out not this weekend, but the weekend after. And
Yeah, he's on his way. He's
on
driving.
His way. and
Right.
give him a pile of slings to like drop
Perfect.
off all over the place. Yeah.
Excellent.
Got 'em all
You did get
separated.
something in the mail for me, and I was nice. I did not say that there was anything in there. Well, I didn't actually really label it at all, did I? I could have put something in there.
This bunny hug, I think is what
The
they call
bunny
it
hug.
in
Yeah.
Saskatchewan. Yeah.
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 So you got your
I got a hoodie.
official, instructor, senior instructor hoodie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you can also use it for break and enters. Just saying.
It's nice and black, and I disappear in it, and it's a very. We found a guy with, it said fun on his sweater, and he was breaking into a house. Yeah.
Fun and being
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
got
also
that.
sent. I also sent you some pens in there. Those are our new pens. Can you please actually put them through a trigger training test and just go to town on them? Because those are our brand new. Those are our brand new pens. Our old pens were no bueno.
I can tell the action's much nicer on the new ones.
Okay.
And the actual materials on them feel nicer. The body
it's a
right
higher-
here is a nicer.
Yeah, it's a higher grade.
Trigger
Yeah.
tech in that? Or
Yeah,
what's
we put
the
in
pen?
trigger tech on the trigger trainers. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Got some needle bearings in there.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Got your business cards and a couple of other things in there. Yeah.
Cool.
No weird labels on the parcel though.
Yeah, there was
Missed
nothing that was mislabeled. Yeah,
Disappointed. Yeah.
I know.
When Rick's out here, we're gonna hit up a 3-gun match too.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's going up quick. And then I've been thinking about picking up a set of binos. So this year I'm going to be grouse hunting with the boy, and next year I'm going to be deer hunting with the boy. So that puts me, that like relegates my role to spotter.
Spotter.
So my other pair of binos is awful, and I might pick up a new set. I was kind of looking around. Cabela's had a sale on. I was comparing the Vortex Diamondback to the Nikon. Nikon's got a sale on their Monarch 5s. They're better. They're better quality. I might get a set of those. I'm not quite sure though.
Are you gonna get
Buy
a?
both.
Yeah. Why don't you buy both?
I'm not made of money. Come on. Unless I can like twist their arms and be like, oh, I'll review it and then keep it.
Are you gonna get? Why don't you get a set that has rangefinder in it as well?
Oh my God! Well, take that price range that was $3.99 and now quadruple it.
Well, yeah,
Not our
it's
money.
useful
We're
though.
okay with that.
Yeah, it's not our money.
Well, the binos,
I'm
like
fine.
I like the idea. I don't like the price at all.
Just get them at whenever there's a sale. Just get them when there's a really good sale.
Seems very
Or buy them used off somebody with who
Yeah.
regretted spending that amount of money.
Exactly. Somebody who's getting out of PRS. Exactly.
Don't you have set distances in PRS?
Yeah, you do, but you still use the rangefinder on it as well.
Yeah.
You do.
Trust no one.
Come out to
Exactly.
the Meaford match and just hang around and go, man,
Okay.
dude, terrible.
Trevor's commenting like you wouldn't believe on everything. You should
Just join in. He's got the
just
link.
get your butt on.
He's probably driving and commenting and watching. He could just be driving and streaming.
Yes. Drive
right.
carefully, please.
Let's move on.
Please note that
Upcoming
we're not implying
events.
that you're allotted up to anything illegal.
I think these are all done, right?
Yep. We
Yeah.
did read them last week, although we revisit a couple of them? I just want to revisit the maple seeds, that's all. If you want to revisit any of the other ones.
Go.
So the maple seed events, all of them have been sold out. Thank you very much, everyone, except for these two BC ones. The Squamish Valley Rod and Gun Club on October 20th still has a lot of spots available, as well as the Kamloops Target Shooters Association on the 28th. Go to our website, mapleseedrifleman.com, and check out the registration there. You can actually sign up there, but we're trying to get those filled. People in BC, get out and get shooting, because that's going to be it for 2019. We'll be there in 2020, though.
Hey, I don't want to brag, but we sold out that one in Alberta, and it's going to be freaking cold. And
I
we
know.
sold it out, no problem.
Yep.
Not bragging,
Yeah.
but
And can I go on?
Sherwood
It's the best
Park.
couple bucks you'll ever spend.
Yeah. Kingston, Ontario, it sold out just last week when we read all of these. It sold out just as we read it. So Ottawa all sold out. I'm going to next weekend Next weekend, I'm going to be going to Trent, Lower Trent Valley, which is Trenton. So all of these are selling out. BC, I'm expecting some good things from you. Just saying.
Like Kamloops weather is nice too. They don't even have the
I
excuse there.
know.
The weather's great there all the time.
I know. Get out, get shooting. Okay.
Cool. All right, let's get into the news. The first one. Did you guys watch the CBC Power and Politics video?
No.
Oh, you guys should check this video out. It's they have an expert on to talk about gun violence. I'm gonna pull up the video.
We are taking
on, just for people to see here what it's about. But they have an expert on there who kind of talks through some of the issues and takes a fact-based approach to it. And he's talking about they got to cut down on smuggling, and what the Liberals have in here is not going to work. It was really interesting because you don't see that
Side of things.
Side of things on the CBC.
Yeah.
No, that's shocking.
Yeah, it was kind of shocking, but I guess this Power and Politics sometimes does unbiased reporting, which is kind of odd.
It's
Nice
weird.
to see.
Have to get
Weird.
rid of them.
But yeah.
Very strange. Very strange. Yeah. And then the CCFR has put out a couple of extra explainer videos. They've got one on why is the gun debate so toxic, and then they put out another one called "Are Legal Canadian Gun Owners Selling Guns to Criminals?" And the selling guns to criminals, the straw purchasing one, I thought was particularly interesting. Did you guys see either of those?
So I did see the straw purchasing one. I need to actually post it, and we should probably share these on our page as well. All of these explainer videos are really, really well done. There's a lot of effort that gets put into them. So
Yeah, they're quite
And
good
it's-
people because everybody can get them.
right, and the way that they word them are legal Canadian gun owners selling guns to criminals. Who wouldn't want to click on it? Come on, right?
Well, I think the cool one about the straw purchasing one is the stat they trot out. There's 2 million Canadian gun owners. If you average the number of reported straw purchasing crimes, instances, it's like 1.6 per year. That means that the chances of a legal Canadian gun owner selling guns through a straw purchasing agreement is about 1 in a million.
Yep.
1 in a million. That's terrible odds. That's like it never happens. And I think that stat was really interesting because straw purchasing has been trotted out as this thing that happens all the time.
All the time.
It's a risk. Yeah. Yes, Canadian gun owners are very responsible, but this is still a risk. It's like, it's a risk. That's 1 in a million.
Mm-hmm. But a lot of times the statistics aren't there, so they don't have the information to back it up.
Yeah,
I heard
they don't
on
have
the
radio
radio-
statistics.
With straw purchasing, that's what was taking place. Is they didn't have a lot of the statistics, but this is what was trotted out during Bill Blair's, across the country talking to
I don't
Canadians.
have particularly good statistics on any of this stuff, but it doesn't stop
No,
them
because
from making.
the reason is because it's so low.
Yeah.
I was
Just
listening
saying.
to the radio tonight, and they had I can't remember who it was, but somebody from Toronto was on the talk show, and they were mentioning that, gun violence, we need to ban handguns because 50% of handguns are kind
Right. Which,
of
according to NATIP is totally incorrect.
Yeah.
So
Anyways,
I wish I could just make.
let's go on, shall
yeah.
we?
Yeah, I would. I would
We'll
definitely
post
watch
those
that
so people
that
can-
straw purchasing one, and
Yeah.
we'll share it on our YouTube, on our
Okay.
website, on our Facebook. Facebook's the place to put that.
Yeah.
And then the federal election is Monday, so get out and vote if you want to.
So,
keep some
get out
fun
and
stuff.
vote. Did you guys hear about there was like a 47% increase in the pre-vote, like getting out prior
4.5 million people or something like that.
Yeah. So I'm hoping those are all hunters that got out and voted.
And they
before
can't
they
they
go
can't
out.
vote on the Monday because they're out sighting their hunting rifle in. They can't afford
Exactly,
the day.
right?
Yeah.
So all these people are getting out. I hope these are all in support of legal gun owners. Just saying. I know I posted it out there for people. Okay.
Yep. New gun stuff.
All right. Let's talk.
This one I just saw today, and it looks kind of neat. Delask is doing an ice blue PVD. That's like a coating. They're doing it on the BCG for an AR-15, which means that you get this cool looking blue thing that probably gets fouled all the heck after you shoot it. But it looks cool when it's brand new.
It does look cool. Yeah, neat.
Yeah. Little different. These
Different.
were a one-off custom PVD job. Once they're gone, they're gone. So it's like,
Once they're gone, they're gone.
yeah, it seems interesting. They just thought it'd be cool. They did it, and now it's like, well,
Yeah.
yeah. Speaking of
It'll-
binoculars, sorry, go
Yeah.
ahead.
No, I was just gonna say that, but that color's gonna last for what?
I don't
10
know
minutes?
how good the PVD would do on a BCG. I'd imagine it would get pretty dirty and around the gas
I would
holes there on the
say,
side.
yeah.
But
It will last.
maybe
Okay.
it would be easy to rinse off.
I don't think
Stay
so.
on.
No.
I don't know.
Okay.
North Pro Sports has a sale on binos. Remember those?
Well, there you go.
Remember those Monarch 5s right there?
Mhm.
Oh, 12 by 42s, $3.99. And these, like, the quality of them felt a lot nicer than some of the other more inexpensive binoculars. And they were very nice.
Oh, look at the Steiner Predators. Oh, very nice.
Are those a good deal?
Those are very pretty.
Yeah, those are.
What do those usually go for?
They usually are. They're
$4.29?
usually $4.29, and they're on sale right now for $3.47. So that's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neat.
Okay. So they're having all their binoculars on sale. Go and buy those.
There you go.
Okay. S&J.
They're doing a pre-order on AS46 mags. So if you're looking for an AS46 mag for your, I don't know, like Typhoon or Duria or whatever, they got some of those. And they're going to be doing big bulk packs. So if you want to do a bulk pack, you can get 10 for $39 each, which is cheap.
Oh.
So cheap.
They
We
were
should
selling
actually
for
do
like
that.
$75 a pop at one point. So
Yeah.
Okay.
and I don't know why Trevor didn't put this one in, because this seems more relevant for like something he'd be interested in. But Calgary Shooting Center, they've got Magnum Research conversion kits for your Desert Eagle. So if you got one in 44 Magnum, which was a huge mistake, don't worry. You can convert it to 50 AE.
50. Yeah.
And if you didn't get the gold, you can get the gold now. You can get the gold barrel, thankfully. I mean, if you've already got one in gold, you can get the black one. But now you can convert your Desert Eagle from the completely
would you do
ineffective
that?
44 Magnum to 50 Action
50.
Express.
And the only reason a Desert Eagle exists, in my opinion, is to get it in 50. Why else would you bother?
Exactly.
Well, 44 Magnum's at least like obtainable. 50 AE is a little bit hard to get a hold of.
Yeah, but that's kind of like, buying yourself a nice Challenger and then throwing a Pinto engine in it. You still got a Challenger. It looks nice, but, you're a loser.
You're a loser.
Fact. Yep.
Okay. So if you have a Desert Eagle, it has to be 50 AE. or
And
you're a loser.
gold.
And gold.
Gold, baby.
Hey, one of our past guests has one of those.
Then you got to get the grills.
You bet.
Yep. Did you guys take a look at the AR, the Red Rider?
Rider
AR-15?
AR-15. No, I
saw
just
it a
clicked
couple
on
days
it.
ago, and I'm like, oh, weird.
adorable.
That's not a thing. It's totally a thing.
It's totally a thing.
I'm pulling it up for everyone to.
It's a YouTube video.
Yeah.
California legal, too.
I wonder if it wouldn't be Canada legal because it's a variant, right? It's a variant off the AR-15. Maybe. There's no
I don't
gas
know.
system on it. It's literally a lever action AR-15. It takes AR mags. It's got the AR bumper and all that kind of stuff, but it's just like a lever action AR-15.
What?
Well, if it's an AR receiver, then it doesn't matter what it is or what it looks like. It's
I can't imagine it's a straight AR receiver because it's got a lever on it that's doing something from the bottom.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm watching it here. That's
I'm-
just so crazy.
It's got little leather
Yeah.
straps coming off the side.
Yeah.
Best comment in the comments is my inner FUD needs this so effing bad, but I want it combined with a belt fed upper.
But it's so awesome. It's like Rifleman meet the, you know what I mean?
Could be our future.
Yeah, exactly.
Once the Liberals get in, if they get in, we'll have all those weird guns like they have in the UK, straight pull ARs.
Nope, still be a prohib. Stupid Canada.
Yeah.
Okay.
True fact. All right.
But-
We get on to
Propellant guns.
our... Anything else on the Red Rider?
No,
No,
but
that's
it's got a cool name, Red
Kind of
Rider.
want
Yeah, Mikey, you're gonna shoot your eye out.
one. Yeah. And
Don't
the
you
5
steal
people
it less
standing
than 100
behind you.
meters, Mikey.
Yeah.
You'll shoot your eye out. Is that AR 500, Mikey?
Three-gun match,
Come on.
Mikey.
All right.
Main topic. Kelly, you had an idea about talking about language and the use of guns or firearms versus weapons. Did you want to lead us on this?
Okay. So what we were doing was we were discussing basically what do you call your firearms? Do you call them weapons, guns, Skippy,
My piece.
or guns, piece, whatever, your pew pew? And the reason is because we put out. Okay, let me back up just a little bit. On our Facebook page, we put out a survey there. There was only 2 options. It was weird. It wouldn't let us have more than 2. So, but of those 2 options, I asked people to vote. Basically, do you call your guns and firearms, or do you call them weapons? Because what I hear is a lot of times I'll hear from, say, people who are in the military call them weapons, and people who are not in the military call them either guns or firearms. Is there a negative connotation from calling them a specific thing, whether it's weapons or whether it's guns or firearms? So I wanted to put it out there and get our just basically our listeners or people on Facebook to give us their comments on it, and also to basically vote in what they call it. So there was 2 options. I wasn't able to break it into 3. So 98% of people will call them guns or firearms, and only 2% will call them weapons. And what I saw was that it is basically people who are military or have military backing that will call them weapons. So I thought we could talk about it, see if there's any negative connotations with calling one thing or another, or should we be calling it, or does it have pushback from people who are in the community and different things like that. I thought it'd be a good topic to discuss. So, Dave, you did actually vote on it. And so I'm going to read what you said, and then let's discuss. Let's just go down because I posted your comment in here. Dave Cracky, it says, at a military facility, weapons. Anywhere else, unless I slip up, you call them firearms, guns, toys, or pew-pews. So,
Problem solver.
problem solver. Yeah. Why you only call them weapons at a military facility, Dave?
So it's because when you do that around civilians, they tend to lose their minds.
Yeah.
And if you do it at a gun club, people will chase you out of the club. So
right.
And it's a perception thing. Now, the interesting thing about it in the perception thing, I play paintball, and for a while when we were playing paintball, people would lose their minds if you called it a gun, despite the fact that it says paintball gun on the side of it, because it's a gun. It's not a gun. It's a paintball marker. No, it's a freaking gun. It doesn't matter what we're doing with it. People who don't approve of it are not going to just approve of it if we call it Winnie the Pooh. It doesn't matter what we call it. It's a gun. So it's sort of the same argument with firearms, but at a little higher level to me.
Right.
Like people who don't like guns, it doesn't matter what you call it. It's completely irrelevant. It's a gun. No matter what you do, what you call it, what you're shooting with it, they want it banned. You shouldn't have it. It's bad. So it doesn't matter.
I'm kind of
what
I actually think it does.
Yeah, it kind of does. They're not going to approve of it anyway, but the thing is, if you call it a weapon, the media or anybody involved will then go,
right.
Oh my God,
it gives it just the negative connotation. You're using it as a weapon. That's what it's there for. It's there to kill people or shoot people or whatever. What were you going to say, Adriel?
I think this is semantics, and I used to care about semantics and think it's important. And now I totally don't. So I've noticed that there's a couple of forums and chat boards and that kind of thing where it's like, whoa, we're this is the way we act. These are the words we use. This is we want to make sure that we're doing a positive outlook on all this kind of stuff. And it just doesn't matter. In the end, for where we're at today, staring down the barrel of the Liberal Party banning a big schwack of our competition rifles. And we've been minding our P's and Q's this whole time. It just doesn't matter. They're going to do it anyways. So who cares? Call it whatever you want to. Say weapon. They're going to lose their minds. Who cares? It doesn't matter. So because it doesn't matter, do whatever you want and don't worry about it because
But
you
do you think?
weren't going to have an impact on it anyways.
Okay, but do you think that if we had called them just firearms, that it might have had an impact, or do you think that
I think everyone could have called them fluffy bunnies for the last
Fluffy.
10 years, and it wouldn't have made a difference. I think
or as
they
filthy said that they are called bangulators?
Bangoleers.
Bangulators.
Ancient crap that
Bangulators.
we use.
Bangulators.
I like
There are
that.
things use bangulators. So if we called them bangulators, it wouldn't have really mattered.
I don't think it made. I don't think it would make a difference. The Liberal Party would have come back to it, and would have come back to it as something that they're going to rag on anyways, and we would have faced this risk anyways. And the risk that we're facing right now is a fairly large percentage-wise ban of our firearms, and we were going to face this whether we were all nice and using politically correct terminology, or whether we were calling them what they are or whatever. None of this matters. The only thing that matters is that they're going to try to ban them, and that we vote them out.
Well,
Maybe
yeah.
too
but-
nihilistic, or
No, it's true. That is exactly they. You know what? The firearm, whether you call them firearms, guns, whatever. Right now they're on the chopping block, and we have to basically vote according to that. However, I do think that, like for example, Project Maple Seed, we don't call them weapons.
correct.
We call them firearms.
Correct. But the
Right?
Liberal Party is calling your firearms semi-automatic assault rifles.
Correct.
Now, what
My
is that going to
1022 is
cover?
not an
Is it
assault
going to
rifle.
cover just military assault rifles?
Yeah, hell no, it's gonna, like we talked about last week, it's gonna cover anything that has a magazine that's magazine fed, that is
So
semi-automatic, that
You're
is
maintaining a level of consistency on verbiage that your opponent is not maintaining and doesn't care
but
about.
it's part of it. It could be from a point of view of supporting their thoughts and ideas, and another part of it. So if you're calling them weapons, it's absolutely going to support what they're thinking. If you call them firearms,
If you
then
understand the
it's-
difference between a firearm and a weapon as a
absolutely.
word, right?
Yes, but you have to educate people too. If you're not willing to educate them, right? You're just giving it to them. Okay, they're weapons. So absolutely, we're going to ban them because you're using them as it's a weapon.
Well, to Adriel's point, they are going to ban them anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah. Regardless
Oh,
of
sorry.
what you
I don't
call
mean
it.
to
If it
laugh,
fires the projectile,
but
it's
it's-
done.
but there was some really good feedback. We had 229 people respond to it, by the way. So that's a lot.
Yeah,
That's a lot
I mean,
of food.
like just to be clear, I don't call them weapons. I call them firearms.
Right.
Is the terminology I use because it's catch-all
Right.
and it's accurate, and I don't need
Right.
any other terminology other than like rifle, pistol, whatever. Right?
When you do the breakdown. But what we are doing it according to is the firearm law, right? It's
Well,
not the
according to
gun
the
law.
firearms
It's
law,
not the weapons law. It's the firearms.
Well, according to the firearms law, if you read it, it actually says a firearm is always a weapon. So by the law, it is actually technically
Whatever.
always a weapon. If you want to be technical about the law.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
It matters in Canada because our laws are messed up, and intent matters. Intent should never matter. Like it makes
absolutely.
a difference. It makes a difference if I have a samurai sword in my trunk and I say that's for escaping my car if I drive into a river. Totally cool. I can have a samurai sword in my trunk. If I have a samurai sword in my trunk in case someone tries to carjack me, whoa, that's now a weapon. You
Right.
can't have that. Now that's something that I fundamentally disagree with. A thing is a thing. How
Yeah.
you talk about the thing shouldn't matter.
Right.
How
so
you
one of
use
our,
it, sure. I mean, if I go on a stabbing spree with the samurai sword, well, that's a little bit different, right?
Absolutely. Well, I'll give. So Joel, one of our listeners, he says it can't be a weapon because I'm not using it as one. My kitchen knife isn't a weapon either. Both instruments may be used to cause harm, but that's not their function. One is designed to project a bullet towards a target, and the other one to cut. Candlestick can be a weapon, but that depends on the intention of the user. A weapon requires a human with intent to harm or defend. Otherwise, it's just an object with potential. That's exactly good. Well done, Joel.
Yeah.
That's what Adriel is saying.
Well, and
Everything has to have intent,
The
and that's how
problem
you
with
get
firearms,
convicted as
though,
well.
when people look at firearms, though, they don't look at us. Most people, like when we look at a firearm, I don't care. I got guns all around me right now. Woohoo, big deal.
Right.
All locked in my gun room, and I'm fine. I'm around guns all the time. Guns are not a big deal to me. If I see somebody with a gun, it's like, meh, gun, whatever. It's not pointed at me. We're cool. But for people that aren't used to them, it's always considered a weapon with the intention that is only to kill. People don't look at it. Like, to me, this is a golf club. May as well be a golf club. Don't care, right?
Unreliable.
It's something I use for shooting. Well, it's European Euro trash. It's garbage. But whoop. And even the bolt on the bolt catch doesn't even work. Garbage. Anyway, to me, it's a thing. And the problem is trying to explain to people that this is just a thing. Like, it's not, it's an object. It doesn't do anything by itself. What was the line from the movie Shane? It's only as evil as its holder's heart, or something like that.
No, but I like that.
Yeah. And that's exactly
I've never seen Shane. So
good movie.
Well, I've run across a similar to the weapon versus firearm is it's only designed for killing people line. But the thing is, the only people you have that argument with are people who are totally ignorant about it and they're not going to change their mind anyways. So it doesn't matter if you call it firearm or weapon to them, because to them it was only designed for murdering lots and lots of people, and that's what semi-automatic firearms are about. Is only for murdering people, and lots of them. And they don't have the context of, oh well, yeah, we've had these since the 60s, these nylon 66s, and I don't know, it doesn't seem to be an issue.
No, and I mean,
might be for a gopher, but that's
mass murder on gophers for sure. Yeah. Genocide.
I had a friend post up a picture of a handgun, and they're like, blah, blah, blah. These are only designed for mowing down people. They can't be used for anything else. I'm like, I hang out with hundreds and thousands of people per year who would argue with that. And I'm sure that our Olympic shooters would have words with you about that as well, because for some reason, not a lot of mass murder on Olympic pistol ranges. I cannot figure that out. It is puzzling.
Yeah, you don't really see
a
lot of people on ranges just like drawn down on each other over like arguments over small things, right?
No, and we have arguments about big things. Sometimes people are yelling at each other. We're all carrying loaded handguns, and yet nothing ever happens.
Nope. And I mean, you see that in the States too, right? Like you think that moving to a concealed carry, you'd have like either a bloodbath or perfect civilization, and in reality, you get neither. You get like almost no change to any of your crime stats. Like you get a little bit of less of one kind, a little bit more of another kind. Tomato. Which if that's the result, why not just let people do whatever they want? Because it's not going to. There was no risk in the first place, right?
Right.
I'm rambling now. Firearm, weapon.
Well,
I am in a nihilistic place of it doesn't matter. And if I run into someone who calls it a weapon, I am okay with that. I won't. I will call it a firearm because I think it's more accurate, and I think that weapon could be is too broad of a term, and it will also catch samurai swords and nunchucks and other weapons, and not
absolutely.
This is my
brass
rifle.
Knuckles.
This is my pistol. This is my shotgun. Because I'm a three gun.
I was going to say
it's three gun, right?
The people that'll freak out if you call it a weapon really is the people that are sort of middle of the road that you might be having shooting with you. So whenever I take people shooting, I'm very specific that these are firearms, rifles, handguns. That's what we call them.
That's what we call it.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm on a military range. 'Tis a weapon.
And if I shoot with a lot of military shooters because they love shooting three gun, and when they call it a weapon, I don't care because that's what they were taught, and that's the correct terminology that they were taught for it.
Right. Yeah. And I will give a little bit of, because I said it's one of my pet peeves, right? It's not really a pet peeve. So if you're military and you call it a weapon, that's what it is, right? And that's what you've been taught, and that's what it is. However, if it's within a context of like a group of people, especially those that you've never actually are, like Dave said, taking somebody brand new to the range, a civilian, and you're calling it a weapon, they do actually start to well, they start to second guess, maybe a little bit of freaking out a little bit too. But anyways,
I could see that. I could see that they might think, whoa, this is way more dangerous than I thought it was going to be because this military guy or gal is calling this a weapon and they're being very serious about it instead of saying, this is a firearm, this is a rifle. And the way that this rifle works is yada, yada, yada. I always make sure to point it down range. It's, you can, but you would still go over the same things. Yes, this can kill someone. So here's the safety rules that we're going to follow to make sure that it doesn't, right?
Yeah.
It won't do it on its own.
Right. So I'll give you the example of on Monday when I went with my friend Kim and her daughter Summer, right? I was very specific with them. We went through everything with respect to ensuring that it's not loaded, clearing the chamber, examining everything. Anyways, but they thought it was super, super safe. And the reason is because, I was watching them and I was explaining everything to them. I made sure that I didn't call it a weapon because Kim would have freaked out. She just would have.
You're a super safe instructor, and the way that you're instructing in your classroom, even though this isn't a classroom,
right,
the way you're teaching is going to be very safe and structured. And
right.
Yeah.
So anyways, I thought it was interesting. I thought that we could do the survey. It'd be interesting to see where everybody's ended up. I was surprised that it actually only 2% of the 229 said weapon.
I'm not even vaguely shocked. I'm surprised it was 2% actually. Because, really? Well, as a culture, gun culture, you're always taught not to call it a weapon. Like every gun club, I've been told.
Yeah, they freak.
Don't call it a weapon. The pound court, don't call it a weapon. Like as a culture, we've spent the last decades and decades being very polite, and it's not a weapon, and it's blah 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 blah. In the end, it hasn't made a damn bit of difference.
No, but at least we were calling it the right thing the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yes.
Didn't make any
the
difference.
quote, by the way, from Shane is that a gun is a tool, Marion. No better or no worse than any other tool. An axe, a shovel, or anything. A gun is as good or as bad as the man using it.
That's mansplaining, Dave.
Yeah.
Mansplaining. I love that.
Kelly could have looked it up herself. You're mansplaining to her about the guy mansplaining to someone else.
I didn't do it. I could have done it. Yeah.
Oh, I just wanted to take the piss. I did.
Okay.
Oh,
I think we weaponed it enough.
We weaponized this conversation.
Weaponized the conversation.
Yeah.
All right, listener feedback, YouTube version. Had some comments. I didn't see any questions in there.
Not really.
Some people asking Trevor if he can load mags and talk at the same time. Apparently not. Some suggestions on pen reviews. Nah, I don't think so.
Everybody send Adriel a pen.
Yeah.
No, please don't.
The stationary guy.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Some people talked about the Nylon 66 and Sub 2000. Yeah, I think that's about it. So, Dave, I see you've got the show notes open. Listener feedback is sponsored by Armory DC Gunsmith. Armory DC Gunsmith is a full-service gunsmith who specializes in firearms refinishing. He offers hot bluing, Parkerized, and Cerakote finishes, as well as wood refinishing. Check out his online inventory of new and used guns, firearms accessories, optics, and more at dcgunsmith.ca. Dave, if you take the first part, I'll take the PS.
Sure, sounds good. From Spencer. Hey guys, I just wanted to wish you the best of luck this coming election day. And we wish you the best of luck as well, Spencer, and everyone else who owns guns and money. Don't give up the fight. And remember, if the polls were accurate, we'd have Hillary for president here in the States. In fact, there's actually a thing called the shy Tory effect that was coined in the UK when it turned out that about 10% more people voted for conservative Tory candidates than the most accurate polls predicted. They figured out that the media was so biased against conservative positions, lots of conservative voters didn't want to voice their real opinions. When talking to the nice college-age pollster, they simply went along with what they believed the pollsters wanted them to say. We saw the same thing here in the 2016 election, where the joke was that somehow Trump won the election even though no one would admit voting for him in a single poll. So hopefully the polls are as skewed for you guys as they were for us in 2016, and that 10% of shy conservatives will put you over the edge. If the worst happens, I hate to say it, but you're being a little optimistic in thinking the liberals will pay you for anything close to what your guns are worth. So No one got rich from Australia seizing guns, and the confiscation in New Zealand looks like they're already reducing the amount they will pay when they take your guns. You mean when you voluntarily hand them in, lest you go to jail for 5 years? That's from me, not Spencer. As you point out, the cost for this sort of confiscation program will be massive, and there's no way they will want to make gun owners happy by paying them more than they can get away with.
Yeah.
After all, it's not like you can wait for a better offer, and it's not as if they will actually like you and care about what you think. They know you will never vote for them, so they will pay you as little as possible. It'll be like the gun buybacks, in quotes, certain groups hold here, but they give you a $50 Walmart gift card in exchange for your gun. If you get pennies on the dollar, I'd be stunned. Anyway, I hope it all works out okay. Best wishes, Spencer.
P.S. Did you guys see the new Ruger PCC models? They actually look pretty useful for IPSC or IDPA PCC class with the new chassis and stock options. I also saw some new trigger kits for them from Tandem Cross, Volquartsen, and M Carbo. I am still waiting for some Magpul stocks, but I'm glad the aftermarket parts for this gun are starting to flow. PPS.
I'm holding one right now.
Oh,
I'm waving it in front of the camera if anybody's watching YouTube. That Adriel sent me, except I added something to the stock.
Oh, you added a slipper. Nice.
Absolutely, Ian from Prepper Podcast and the other PPC. You're getting that honor.
Thank you.
Sweet. Yeah, they are cool.
Yeah, they are. Fun to shoot.
Yeah. Kelly, did you want to take this one from James?
Okay, this one's from James B, aka Ginger Snap. I just want to apologize now if I missed any of the. I went through and changed some of the words to bleeps because I had to. It's been a long spell since I wrote in last. With the Canadian federal election about to happen, all the BS promises made by all the parties, it can make one person ... Trevor Furlot, in air quotes, post some great, entertaining, non-biased Facebook posts about the great Canadian Liberal Party of Canada and its leader, Justine Trudeau. Vote for me and I'll give you everything and leave the country more bleeped up than when I got in as the Prime Minister. It seems he will promise you anything and everything just so that he can stay Prime Minister. Have you listened to this man speak about gun control? Wow. I am now dumber for listening to him and his party. Balanced budget.
He just wants to ban the semi-automatic assault rifles, guys. Come on.
Okay. So he goes on to say, balanced budget. What's that? Helping veterans? No money for that. Buy an obsolete pipeline? Check. Ethics violations? Check. Elbowgate? Check. And the list goes on and on. One thing he will be remembered for, thanks for the pot, Justin, and leave it to the government to lose money selling pot. Speaking of pot, pot is good when you put your food in the microwave and you have to put your PIN number in. Okay. All right. It's just a matter of time. We're going to lose the AR-15 and all the semi-auto guns. Making paper criminals is the only thing the government's great at doing. They love making laws and know that no one will follow. Is it me or anyone else notice the process is the punishment? Example, DUIs is $10,000 plus. A divorce start at $10,000 plus. Criminals does a drive-by shooting and is out of jail until he has trial. And he says, what the F? The biggest fear is the RCMP showing up at my house with my gun to get my guns. And they decide to handcuff my family and I in my own house for my safety and theirs. Guilty until proven innocent. What a great country we live in. If they want them, no handcuffs, I'll bring them to you and you can fill your boots. I'll gladly give them up. Bleep. No, not really. I'm really pissed about it. Actually, WTF. If it's the law, what a BS law. The only thing they will get is the strip of low receivers. Sorry, sold the other parts to offset the BS $750 a piece AR buyback program. Wow. Where did they come up with those ideas? Spend money we, the people of Canada, do not have. If we spent money on people and not creating criminals, maybe, just maybe, we would have less losers. What a pipe dream. He goes on to say, living in New Brunswick, being a province with nothing in a country that is a virtue signaling, makes a guy wonder, would I be better off somewhere else? Europe has some decent countries that use statistics, not emotions, to run the country. I really thought New Zealand was the place to go until they ban all guns. Man, no due process, just ban. That is seriously messed up. Maybe we can take over PEI and Bill could be our president of the new Kanakistan, where I'd get a license, I'm vetted, and I can have whatever I want. What a great place to be. Hey, we could ban anyone who works for the government of Canada. Well, that's my rant. Trevor, he goes on a little bit to actually talk about Trevor. So he goes on to say, a Kui gun collecting now? Wow. I know you haven't lost all your marbles, but there are some holes in your bag. Question, Trevor. With collecting the Kuis, are you trying to get a museum license? Fair question, actually. And he says, P.S. I would like to congratulate drugs on winning the war on drugs. It is classic Jason. Yeah. So thanks for your rant, I guess.
I mean, the clear choice at this point, if you really love freedom, is the U.S.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I said Jason, but I meant James. Thanks, Ginger Snap. It's been a while. We missed your emails. Anyways, say hi to the girls.
How much editing do you have to do to make it like readable?
Not much. I just took out the swear words, most of them.
Because we read them.
Yeah, it was really long, so he didn't do it on it. He didn't do it on his phone. He must have did it on his computer.
So his F key is worn out by now.
Yeah. Autocorrect wasn't working on it, so.
So I mean,
random words.
I'm like, all kidding aside, I'll probably strip my ARs.
Yeah,
I'm not. I doubt we're gonna get any kind of money for them. I will strip them, and I will have a whole bunch of parts that. Maybe I'll get like one of them crazy tube bolt guns that uses AR parts or something like that, right? It'll be usable somehow because all that stuff is like
your optics, the scope mounts, and everything. You can put it on something else. But yeah, I've already decided they're getting nothing unless it ends up being like a New Zealand thing where you have to turn everything that could possibly be used on an assault weapon.
Try to track it.
Well, exactly. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to re-register. Everything is a strip blower, but I will be damned if I'm using my gas in time to take them to a gun buyback event. They can come to my house and pick them up and wait for me. No, that is not happening. Mm-hmm. F that.
Indeed. Okay. If you'd like to send a long, rambling email to Slamfire Radio, it's our specialty.
Yeah.
Send the email to slamfireradio@gmail.com.
Yeah.
Podcast app reviews. We didn't have any, but if you'd like to, head on over to iTunes or Stitcher or Google Podcasts or whatever you use for podcasts and review us over there. Helps people find the podcast. Helps them know how awesome we are too.
You're awesome?
Or not.
You're awesome.
Yeah.
I think you're awesome.
Let's see here. Shoutouts. Tracy?
Okay.
Tracy. No. Kelly. I'm reading the thing.
Yeah, you are. So I want to give a shout out to Tracy Wilson from the CCFR. I just wanted to say well done, my friend. Very well done with the Integrity Tour. She did fantastic. And, they drove all the way out almost to Verdun and they had to turn around and come back. But they spent a long time in a little RV and talked to a lot of people. So you did really, really well. Thank you for everything that you did. Just wanted to say that.
No one out here that's voting for anything other than conservative anyways. Maybe in BC, but skip Alberta.
Right. I also wanted to say hi to Mark and thanks for bringing Fiona out to the Maple Seed event and also Cooper. It was great to see Fiona. Fiona is one of our youth shooters and it was great to see her. So just want to say, hey, thanks. All right, that's me.
Cool. Dave?
Well, Trevor wanted to say a shout out to H.W. Cooey, who is his personal god these days. Congratulations to my sister Lori, who is going to be getting her hunting license. She went out with the lads grouse hunting. Her son and her husband both hunt. That's the guy I hunt deer with. So she decided that she's going to go grouse hunting. She's going to get her licenses, get all licensed up, go hunt in nice weather. But she has said that she is absolutely 100% not doing deer.
It's such a the hunting license is such a nice program. Like the going through it with my kid. Like the last time I did mine was decades ago, and going through it with my kid, it's like, man, you learn a lot about conservation in that. And the people who take that course know more than 99% of the population when they're done, just because of the conservation that you learn in there.
Yep.
Yeah. Shout outs as well. Oh, speaking of which, sort of an aside here, but Joe Rogan, love that guy. He's very interesting. He has
And did you lose him to Adriel?
video called Most of the
back.
Population. Is he still here?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah,
Hello?
try now.
Okay. Joe Rogan has a video where he interviews a wildlife conservation guy from the States. And the video is called Most People Have Never Been Around Real Wildlife.
Okay.
It's really interesting. It's just about, how people from the city will walk up to a bear and try and pet it, sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So if you're bored, it's a really good video. You can watch that. Shout outs as well. Back on the shout outs. Adam from Wasaga, buddy of mine, just won his first IPSC match. So congratulations, Adam. That's awesome.
Sweet.
And that's it.
Cool. Okay. And just to let everybody know, we do not promote going up and petting bears.
No, I think you should, and you should pet the bear, videotape the entire thing, and tag us and post it on Instagram and Facebook.
Well, actually, get somebody
head
else,
cam, right?
Get somebody else to post it, because you're probably not going to be able to.
Live stream it.
Yeah.
Tag us so we can watch.
Yeah. Sweet.
Yeah. Okay.
Patreon supporters. So if you want to help support the show and get us new headsets and mics and that kind of thing, you can support us on patreon.com/Slamfire Radio. And it looks like we have a new Patreonee this week. Crash L is supporting us for 223.
Sweet.
Nice.
I like the 223. Finally, you can also show support for the show by visiting our website and clicking on the links for Cabela's and buying through there instead of just going direct to Cabela's. Join a National Firearms Association such as the CCFR. Check us out on Gun Owners of Canada. We've got a thread over there where we faithfully post every one of our shows. And like us on Facebook, where I think we're trying to beat an orphanage in terms of likes, and we are failing, and we need your help.
Yeah.
Those little punks are going down.
Yeah. Okay. Get your family, your friends, your ministers, whatever, to give us likes, because we only gained 4 over the last week. So, and then
most importantly, this week, get your friends and family out to vote.
Vote.
Mostly not in Alberta, because I think this is it's already done here, but everywhere else.
Because then nobody will go vote and the Green Party will win in Alberta. And
that would be hilarious. That would be hilarious. It's not going to happen.
Awesome.
No.
That would
No.
But if you're from one of those other provinces where it's not known who's going to win,
Ontario and Quebec, in other words,
and the Atlantic provinces too. That there's a ton of power in votes in the Atlantic provinces, more so than in Alberta. So get your friends and family out voting. Make sure you tell them about how badly you're going to get screwed over as a firearms owner if the Liberals get in power, and try to get them to vote for someone else on Monday.
Yeah. There was a really good post on Facebook that I liked where a guy posted and he said, if the Liberals win, they're going to take away my AR-15s, which are worth $10,000. So you're asking me to pay $10,000 to vote Liberal. That's not fair. I'm not doing it. I thought that was a good point.
Yeah.
It's not fair to ask gun owners to do nothing for public safety by having our property seized illegally, as far as I'm concerned, and to just give up that money.
Well, I mean, I don't think it's if it's just AR-15s, I'm out a few grand. Yeah. If it's military style semi-autos, I'm out screwed. A few more grand. And if it's centerfire semi-autos with a mag, I'm out even more. And if it's just all semi-autos, I'm I got a couple left.
Everything I own except a couple of my guns are semi-autos. Most of my stuff is semi or handguns.
Yeah. And if the Liberals do get in, I would like everybody to start looking at municipal politics as well. Start getting in there. Any illegal gun owners, get in there. Just saying.
Especially if you're in a big city where they might go for a handgun ban.
Yeah. Like Kingston isn't a big city, but we already been through this already once in July. So.
Yeah. Anyways, get out there and vote,
saying.
and
Vote.
we'll catch up with you guys next week.
Thanks for listening.
Bye. Bye.
So if you have any comments or questions for the show, please send an email to slamfireradio@gmail.com. Now go grab a gun and shoot something.
When the talking is over, it's time to get a gun.